Hey guys, how's it going? Just here to talk about the Jake Paul series that Shane Dawson made. Very interesting series. I watched literally every minute of every episode the day that they all came out. I even had to follow Shane Dawson on Twitter, um, just to know when they were coming out and to get updates. I was very interested, and I wish there was more episodes, but I just got done watching the last one. It's great. And I just wanted to talk about it because I have a lot of thoughts, and being on YouTube, I'm sure you guys are also interested, and some of you I'm sure have watched it, seen parts of it. Maybe your favorite or a couple of your favorite YouTubers have even talked about it. So here's my take. No bullshit. I don't really care what anyone else says. I'm just gonna tell you guys what I think. And there's an awful lot to say, and I don't even know where to start, honestly. I think Shane Dawson did a great job. He did kind of dangle, like, oh, we're going to be talking about drama later, and, you got to keep watching, because every episode we're going to get closer and closer to the drama. And that definitely kept me watching, and I feel like a lot of people watch just to hear Jake talk about issues that he's never been asked before, and he does get a serious answer out of him, and blah 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 blah. But then by the time you're done, and kind of how I feel now, it's like just a lot about life. Things change. That if you're younger, there's gonna be a lot of people, a lot of good and bad people you meet along the way, and what decisions do you make. You're gonna reflect on and think about the good times with these people, the bad times, and then when you sit down to catch up with them, you'll be reflecting on the good times. But I'll talk about Team 10. One of the biggest flaws I see in like the business side of it is this sign a contract and then take 20%. It's not the percentage I have a problem with, but it's I feel like bigger creators, there should be some kind of incentive to grow. So bigger people, for example, maybe take a smaller percentage where people starting out, I think you should actually take more than 20%. For example, the Martinez twins that were very small, very poor, that Jake took right out of Spain. Yeah, I do think up front they should have, since they just went from basically nothing to very popular, I do feel that Jake is entitled to get a much bigger percentage in the beginning, and then less than 20%, by the time you're done. I feel like it's an incentive to stay. It's rewarding, and you're more likely to end on a good note, I feel. Um, and I mean, even then, when they get to the point where they're so popular, they could easily support themselves and do this, do that. Maybe even some other incentive to make like a Team 10 affiliate. Jake or the business guys for Team 10 should have addressed, should have thought about. Because just having whatever it is, 8 to 12 people, obviously somebody's going to leave. Um, and I mean, again, they all complain about either Jake or the percentage or both. And yeah, I mean, nothing lasts forever. I think it's very childish of Jake to, expect these people to stay and then not talk to them when they leave. Like, I don't understand that with Nick leaving, why they don't talk. I think it's a bad look for him. I wish in this last episode, Shane asked, why don't you ever, talk to Nick, or he said he sent you like a good luck text before his big fight with uh, Comedy Shorts Gamer, whatever his real name. That's like something I was like really interested. Why he doesn't talk there. I get like, okay, Alyssa ended bad, but someone like Nick, you know, was there through the hard times, put in work, says a lot of good things about Jake. You know, why is he just, treated so poorly and ignored and blah blah blah. But yeah, that would be the business side. I feel like they could address, they could clean up. Maybe they already have part of it, maybe not. A few things about this last episode. The way Jake was talking kind of bugged me. Um, so, first thing, like, I noticed, over a year ago now, between Jake and Logan, I always feel like in that interview, Jake was just Jake and just, kind of brain dead, saying the right things at times just because they are the right thing. Um, where I feel like Logan in interviews is a lot more authentic, a lot more real. He says things, just doesn't go through the motions almost. It's one way of putting it. And I mean, I wish he would do like a series now on Logan, but man, he just won't top the Jake Paul. What he did for Jake Paul. Unfortunately, no documentary he makes I think will ever top this. Especially as someone like me that I remember last summer, spring and summer, all the drama following him, and now a little over a year later, having him like reflect on what happened. Very interesting stuff, and I definitely learned some things. But I guess yeah, we can just start with the issues that he's pretty much asked about in that last episode. So the Martinez twins, um, I would say I'm on Jake's side. Like, there's definitely some unanswered questions. Like, now that we know, what they said about Jake and Team 10 is kind of bullshit. Why aren't people like upset at them? Why isn't there any rage at the Martinez twins? Have they came out and defended themselves? Not really. And I mean that's proven. So trying to think whatever the next issue was, or talking about the Alyssa. I'm kind of on Alyssa's side, or I'm very much on her side on this one. It's like I see why Jake is hurt. I mean, I'm on her side that they weren't dating, but then kicking her out, like, again, she made it seem like it was a 24-hour thing, and Jake's knocking on her door to kick her out, but it was just, according to him, 40 days, and he paid for some place when she had money, blah blah blah. Money and maybe other friends to stay with. That might have been like Jake's first big breakup. I mean, just the way I'm speculating, just the first one sucks. That's what everyone says, and I think for him, it might have been the first one or one that he really cares about. The teachers, the music video he made about fuck teachers or whatever it was. I can defend him a little bit on, I lived in a small town for a couple of years. He did, I guess, growing up, and I do feel like people or schools, there is a more negative tension towards, if you're not one of the best students, stupid, you're gonna work at whatever place in town and flip burgers the rest of your life if you're not one of the top students and leaders out in the community. So I can kind of defend him there. I can kind of see that. But should he or shouldn't he have made the music video? Probably not. The purpose, I think he could have just explained it, how he feels about teachers and his experience in school. Oh, yeah, this is something I really want to get into. Jake and Logan, like, if you seriously thought before this documentary that they act the way they do on camera, or like, 60% of the way they act on camera is actually them, I think you're like really stupid. Obviously, the way they act on camera, talk to people, and do stuff is fake. It's different. It's an act. I mean, keep the videos interested, to keep them going, whatnot. And I feel like that's where a lot of the negativity is. You know, people try to say who they act like are in these videos is who they actually are, which is completely false. Jake and Logan, I guess I've always said better things about Logan, just because they do remind me of different people, and even the mom and the dad of people. Again, I lived in a small town and for a little bit, and some people do come to mind when I think of the two and the parents, and again, ironically from that small town, and but I could always see myself having more of a conversation with Logan instead of Jake. But I guess I'll end on this. If you haven't watched it yet, definitely recommend it. Comment what you think if you have seen it or need to go and see it. Really hope you enjoy it. Yeah, last thing. Shane Dawson, Smosh, and Fred, I remember back in the old days, they were real hated, like 10 years ago now, when I first got internet, and they were the big guys on YouTube, and I feel like they've all aged, and now they're like looked at as like the godfathers of YouTube, and um I do think someday Jake will be looked at Jake and Logan will be looked at, those cornerstones, those people everyone, the YouTubers everyone knows and respects and wants to hear those opinions. Again, as they age, and then the new guys will come in and people will hate on their style. So I do think that trend is going to continue to happen, but just my prediction, I guess. August 18th, 2018. You heard it here first.